valley going up there. All this is Scout Moor, and that valley is where we will be going up. We're just about to get to the road, down the road a bit, and then up here. And then either that way around or that way around.
Right, we're just coming up to it now, aren't we?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, up there?
Looks like it's named after you.
Yes, and after you. How appropriate. And it's the road we're going up.
Yep.
Just beginning to rain. That wasn't in the weather forecast.
Well, if the little bit we've just passed is anything to go by, and I think we've barely started, it's going to be a good test for your new boots.
You've noticed I have new boots on.
They look nice and shiny,
I'll tell you what.
but I don't think they'll be nice and shiny by the end of the walk. Look at that.
What?
Look at those steps.
Well,
Style. We're walking them and down it.
I don't think we'll be going over it, will we? Hopefully. Yeah, there's certainly been plenty of rain. Slipped and all my trousers are soaking wet. It's not very ideal underfoot, even with the new boots.
All the rain we've had.
I know.
We're going to turn off to the right. That's there, we'll do a longer way around.
All right, so this is the quicker route. I think the other route would have been a bit longer at 10 miles, for us anyway.
It's a path. I've been down that path a couple of times, once by myself and once with the swag group.
Right, yes.
On the way back from having come up the other side.
So are you saying...
So if time runs short, depending how slow going it is,
yes.
and we don't do all the round more, we can at least come down that way. Now that's a good test for your new boots, which is still quite clean yet, so if you walk through the middle of there, you'll have got them well and truly christened. It circles round to the right before long. Well, that just goes up that house up there.
On the right track.
It starts circling round now.
As long as I don't fall again. One disaster is enough. You can still hear the roar of the motorway. Or is it? There isn't a motorway nearby, is there?
It's the
You can just hear it.
the M65 still.
Yeah.
It stops somewhere just over here and becomes.
So we're not entirely free of it.
Well, I say, behind you are remnants of the old field systems which existed before the enclosure about 200 years ago. You can see the strips on the hillside very clearly, and some more over to the left. And all this, which is like boggy land, they farmed it and grew crops and had to subsist off that.
You're certainly into your strips of land, aren't you?
Well, I'm just interested in landscape history, and that's the joy of a walk. You can see the history of the landscape as it unfolds before you.
That explains your knowledge, doesn't it? Oh, that's what we can hear, isn't it? The roar of traffic out in the countryside. Yes, you mentioned an attraction for wars. Well, what's the attraction?
The local poet or something. I can't remember his history. I think it was one of these, you know, local dialect poets or something like that.
It's a long slog, so it's time to take a little breather and freshen up. Hey, put springs on him. Yes. Flippin' heck. Well, you look very cold sat like that.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting on my gloves, so my hands are a bit cold.
Alright, we'll get going then.
It's one of these ruined hill farms, isn't it? Remains of somebody would have lived here and farmed the land around. We've seen the old field systems. When it was enclosed, it was shared out into separate farms. This would have been one of them. Cyclist who turned round, you know, he was going the wrong way.
I didn't see him.
No, you didn't see him. He got to me, slowed down, asked if it was on the way to Nairn. But it proved a point, he thought he'd taken a wrong turn, but he was said his phone won't pick up a signal, so he's no map. This is it.
Crikey.
This often happens. I mean, that's where all the extra work for mountain rescue teams comes out now, where people haven't got maps, they rely on the phone, and then either the phone battery runs out or they don't get a signal. You know, it's
Yeah, that does
really
prove a point.
in this terrain, always have a map with you.
Yes.
A proper map.
Just seeing that dog chasing sheep. Lucky the farmer isn't around. Looks as though he's off chasing the sheep again. They didn't seem to see anything wrong with it. But I don't like to see animals being scared like that.
Sheep run anyway. I mean, you only need to come anywhere near them when they run, so...
Yeah, but they're still frightened.
As long as the dog doesn't persist in chasing them.
Yeah, well, that's what it was doing. There's a lot of landmarks around here. And there's a cross right up on that hill up there.
The cross on the... presumably the summit, that's Scout Moor. And that presumably is the summit of Scout Moor.
Right, right.
And our walk is just taking us a circle around the moor.
Because we did this once before at Scout Moor, but it was the other side, wasn't it?
But we did it about 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
That's what I was talking
in winter.
about.
But we didn't come on to Scout Moor, we stayed that side of it.
That's what I said.
But what we will be doing, but we will do much longer of it. So we'll come round the Scout Moor from a different place. Yeah,
What is
came
it?
off that big sign there.
What does it say?
That's a whole lot. We'll be here 10 minutes. I'm reading it out loud. Edwin Waugh was a prolific Lancashire dialect writer. His stories and poems were based on the people he met and the times he lived.
Yeah.
And Fort Edge Farm, which is where we are.
Oh, is it?
But yeah, if you have a read for yourself.
Well, I'll be here all day if I
And
do
that
it
looks
that.
even like a picture of Edwin Waugh.
Oh, all right, that's interesting, isn't it? What a pity it's lying on the ground. Nobody can see it. Hidden. Right, cheers. No chance of drinking my tea in peace, is there?
Well, you can take as long as you want with it.
And it's cold.
Yeah.
Right, so this is Waugh's well. Well, we've talked about this a lot. I want him to come and see it.
It's being rebuilt in 1966.
Right.
He was a dialect poet, a bit like Alan Wrigley in our area,
Right.
but a little bit earlier, I think.
So, what was the memorial doing up here?
It must have been a little well here, possibly one of the places he liked to sit. I mean, obviously the reservoir wouldn't have been there then, in all likelihood, but it would probably be a pleasant spot to sit and look down the valley.
Yeah.
And if he was staying at that farm, there's something about him staying there to recuperate or something, so maybe he'd walk along here and admire the view, I don't know.
Recuperate? I mean, was he ill?
There's a little bit of a notice there.
Right.
It was broken, so you couldn't read all of it. Bit of a narrow path, this one.
It is, isn't it? Who needs to go abroad with views like this? Wow, this doesn't look very wonderful, does it?
I'd say we're near the top now. Let's step down a bit soon. Keep on there. Step up onto the stone platform. Hands free at this end.
Oh my goodness me. I hope I don't slip like I did earlier on.
It's not slippy.
Oh dearie me. Flipping it, this isn't very wonderful, is it?